My friends, today we are going back in time to look at things that I thought I would never see with me own eyes. We are going to check out our friends at My Story Animated, but we are going to see their first videos ever. Listen, I think every YouTube channel's first videos are always a little bit cringe. In fact, mine absolutely was. In fact, I reacted to it in this video. I will put the link at the end if you want to watch it. But that's not important right now. What is important is that we are going to see the humble beginnings of My Story Animated. These are 4-minute long animations, so I say let's go through 4 of them, okay? Let's go through 4 animations today. We'll do the very first one, and then we'll just pick some fun ones from that time. All right, let's start at the very first animation. I can't stop stealing from my friends and family. I did not watch this one halfway through. I literally clicked into it to see what the animation style was, but no, I am watching this for the first time, I assure you, friends. So welcome to a very special episode of RobertIDK MSA. You know what time it is, people. Theme song.
Animations, it kinda feels like I'm on vacation when I see a vid from MSA about a girl who's gone completely insane. But we'll still laugh and scream and cry and be glad that we don't have their lives. So come along, enjoy the ride, and let's watch some MSA tonight.
All right, I can't stop stealing from my friends and family. 3, 2, 1.
Hello guys, I'm Rob.
Hi, Rob.
And I want to share my story with you.
Okay, Rob.
I think it's quite different from what you're used to hearing.
This is definitely not
carefully
what I'm
to
used to
all
hearing from you guys.
details. It all started a few years ago on my 13th birthday.
Few years ago on your 13th birthday? This voice actor sounds like he's 30. Yo, this ain't no 13 going on 30 situation. You can't tell me you were 13 a few years ago. Okay, first of all here, we have these infographics looking characters. Also, we have a male. When was the last time a guy did a My Story Animated? That's actually, I think, my next goal. I think after this video, we will do a modern MSA where there's a guy. But wow, the Comic Sans. You guys didn't have the budget for a different font at the time?
I went with my dad to an electronics store to choose my birthday presents. I wanted to get some video games because I didn't really care about anything else back then.
Yeah, when you're
My dad
13.
didn't mind because he's doing great financially, so he said he's willing to buy me 5 different ones. for my
5
birthday.
games?
I was happy, and 5 was more than enough for me.
Okay, first of all, MSA, this is not 5. You don't get to 17 million subscribers or whatever you guys are at by not knowing how to count to 5. No wonder this is their first video. So even back then, the parents were rich. 5 video games on your birthday? I would get one video game. 5?
More than enough for me, but somehow I found myself stealing a 6th one. Instead of asking my dad to buy it, I
Wow.
wasn't caught. This idea appealed to me, and it didn't feel like stealing or doing something bad. Days passed by, and whenever I liked something, anything, I won't hesitate for a moment to steal it and hide it somewhere.
Wow,
without
what a
drawing
demon.
anyone's attention to me. I became better and better at it every day. It felt like I became invisible when I steal.
Oh my
No one
gosh.
could catch me. No one at all. I literally stole things from all the members.
Okay, so one thing about going back in time is My Story Animated main characters, a lot of them used to be terrible people, okay? And do terrible things. And so that's what we're dealing with now. You couldn't have this in the new one. It would be some girl who's justifying like, oh, if I didn't steal that 50 cents, me and my family would starve on the streets. I knew I'd pay them back later. It's like you didn't just have, I love stealing. I go to the store and I steal a car. I go to the bank and I steal a gold bar. What will I steal? I'll put it in a jar. And I think this lifestyle will take me very far.
I literally stole things from all the members of my extended family. I took the wedding ring of my late grandfather, which my grandmother really loved, and saved in her valuable jewellery box for many years after my grandfather died. She got so nervous and mad when she couldn't find it. She asked everyone
What
to
a
help her
bad
find
person.
it. I remained silent.
What a bad
I said
person.
nothing. She cried for days and days. I felt bad for her, but I didn't feel bad about taking the ring. It was such a
Then
strange
you're a
feeling.
sociopath.
Don't worry.
That's what
I
that
returned it
means,
later.
bro.
just because it didn't fit my finger size, and oh well, it's very old-fashioned.
Awful.
Later, my family started to notice that something is off. My aunt claimed it's a ghost, and she spread the idea to everyone that we are haunted, and we need to move out of our houses and seek some help.
No, just set up a camera, catch
so
your
funny.
demon son.
How could anyone believe that? But she managed to scare everyone. All this felt like a game to me. An interesting and entertaining game. I watched them all, doubting themselves and everyone around them.
Oh man, you're driving your whole family insane.
I was always the calm, innocent boy in the family who only minds his own business, so no one suspected me. They knew I'd never steal, especially if
they knew. Apparently not.
It just didn't make sense to anyone. And to tell you the truth, it didn't even make sense to me.
Awful
On my
person.
16th birthday, I started to realize that this game is not amusing anymore. I caused trouble to many people around me, and I should tell the truth and stop doing this. I tried several times, but failed. I couldn't understand why. I gathered all my courage and talked to my parents. That moment, everything started to bounce back to them.
I have stolen all the
My father returned
things.
all the valuables I stole, and I attended many sessions at a psychological center.
Wow.
And I have finally completely recovered now. Studies say that there's no cure for kleptomania.
Cure?
But psychotherapy may help to end
Okay, guys. Kleptomania is a behavior. You can call it a disorder if you want, but that's not like a, oh, don't worry. I'm sorry. It's okay. He has kleptomania. Oh, no, that's fine. You can, okay, steal it. Leave my place. Steal my stuff.
My brother used to break in our house and steal the TV.
It's like, oh, sorry. I have punchomania. I punch people in the street. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. There's no cure for kleptomania. Yeah, stop stealing. That's the cure, bro. That's the cure. And it looks like he's doing the right things, going to therapy, all that stuff. But the way he approached that is like, oh, when I was young, I was diagnosed with kleptomania. Oh, you poor thing. You poor thing.
Psychotherapy may help to end the cycle of compulsive stealing. It worked in my case, and it can work in yours too. Remember that once you realize your issues, you should talk about them and seek help. People around you will understand. Kleptomania is a mental illness that can be controlled. Don't be afraid. And don't suspect it's ghosts. Do you know anyone with kleptomania? Share your experience in the comments section.
No, I don't. I don't have friends who steal things constantly, actually. I don't. I can't say that I do. Wow, what a bizarre story. I wish I could see the dislike ratio on this particular video, because I bet a lot of people were mad. That character was the worst. So that was their first video ever. They have come such a long way. I'm not gonna make fun of them for the animation style being cheap, because it's not like they had a budget at the start. The quality of that video was like the equivalent of the quality of my first video. So me and MSA have had similar trajectories, except they have like 17 million subscribers or whatever. Let's see if the next one's as crazy. This one had a lot of views early on. I ran away from home. It was terrifying. Guys, just 4-minute bite-sized wacky stories. I'm so excited. Let's keep it going. 3, 2, 1.
I ran away from home, and it was terrifying.
Oh no.
Hi, my name is Catherine.
Hi, Catherine.
It all started when the most popular girl in my class, Ellie, was having a party on Saturday night. Everyone was going, and I couldn't believe that I had been invited too.
Oh, you had been invited.
She lived in a huge house with a pool, and her parents had let her invite 200 people.
This seems
I was nervous about telling my mom.
weird.
This was the first party I had ever been to, and I knew she didn't like Ellie. She said that she thought that she was a bad influence.
A spoiled brat.
But I was 15.
I don't know,
I could
Ellie,
take care of myself. My mom and I have always argued a lot, as she will never back down from a decision. But I was going to this party.
Okay, go to the party.
I told her about the party,
I'm not gonna stop
and she
you.
refused. Nothing I said would change her mind, even me bursting into tears. Like I said, my mom will not budge when she has said no. A huge argument followed. I was screaming at my mom, and she was shouting back at me. I was so sick and
Wait, are
frustrated.
they driving in the middle of the road? Okay, I didn't catch that. Guys, this is why you don't do road rage. This is why you don't yell and drive, because you'll drive on the line.
I was so sick and frustrated of her trying to control my life and treating me like a little girl. I was angrier than I'd ever been. She was ruining my life. Without thinking, when she stopped at some traffic lights, I picked up my school bag, opened the door, and ran.
It's gonna be terrifying.
When I was a few miles away, I started walking. I sat on a bench for a while thinking. I hadn't really had any plans, so I wasn't sure what to do now. I decided I would stay away for the night. Then, by the morning, my mom would be so sorry that she'd let me go to the party. I already had 6 missed calls from my mom, but I didn't call back.
Aww,
she deserved it. It was much darker outside now, and a few drunk people
I think it's... Did you change the colors at all, or is this darker than it was a second ago? I think the colors are the exact same, bro. I think the animator forgot to make it darker.
And a few people shouted things at me from the bars as I walked past.
Yikes.
I didn't feel comfortable anymore, as it was getting closer to midnight.
Okay, now
the anger
it's
that
darker.
I'd felt earlier was disappearing. I decided that maybe I would head home and just sit near my house, so I felt safe, but everywhere looked different in the dark, and I wasn't sure where things were. I'd been using my phone as a torch, but then the battery ran out.
Nice.
I was trying not to panic, trying not to think about what could
this
be hiding.
animation, she's just... I'm like trying to follow. This is just turned into an audiobook for me. The visual stimulation is just not there, but we're powering through it together, people.
I was trying not to panic, trying not to think about what could be hiding in the shadows. An article that I had read recently popped into my head about a girl who had been abducted and murdered walking alone at night. Suddenly, I was terrified and started running. The street was deserted,
Change the
apart from a
animation,
parked car
please.
ahead of me. But as I got closer, I could see someone sat in the driver's seat,
All right,
watching me.
let's get spookied.
As I passed the car, they opened the door. I screamed and fled down the road, not knowing where I was going anymore. I tripped over something, scraping my hands and knees, but I got up and kept running, my heart pounding, whimpering in fear.
Jeez.
I ran and ran, but then something grabbed my arm. I screamed again and writhed and kicked the person until I realized that it was my mom. Yay! She had been the person in the car, out looking for me.
Whoa,
She took me
what
inside
a crazy
and looked
twist.
after me. We both cried.
Aww.
She told me I had worried her so much, and I could see in her eyes that I had. I had never seen my mom look like that before.
And then they become friends and she doesn't go to the party by her own choice?
She told me I could go to the party if it mattered that much to me, but I said I wasn't sure that I wanted to. All I wanted was to be with my mom. I felt so glad to be with her, but so ashamed that I had scared her.
It sounds like SpongeBob
I had
music.
terrified myself that night, and I will never do something so reckless again.
What a crazy story. What a crazy story. So far, I prefer the first one, actually. That second one, nothing really happened. There's only so much you can do in 4 minutes. So you have to be a complete maniac to really match my story animated quality in a 4-minute window. Okay, this one got 2 million views, and for old My Story Animated, that is crazy. I didn't have a 1 million view video until probably my 50th video. I dyed my hair blonde and something crazy happened. Really? Something crazy? Why? Crazy? Is it that crazy? I mean, I dyed my hair blonde. It hasn't been that crazy, but apparently it's worth a story. So let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Hi, my name is Cassie. And
Hi,
one
Cassie.
day I decided to drastically change the way I looked to try to be more popular. I would never call myself pretty. To be honest, I'm just average. Not too short, not too tall.
I can't tell because
not
you're an
too
animated
fat,
character.
But not exactly slim either, with boring brown hair. To be
Boring
honest,
brown hair.
mostly I just blend into the background. I was a little jealous of the girls who just seemed to have it all. like Harriet and Leela.
See, that's the problem. That makes no sense. Complaining about blending in and being jealous of the few people who don't blend in. It's like, if you blend in, that means you're the same as like almost every other human in terms of like, you're fine. It's totally fine to blend in. I mean, if you want to stand out, I guess. But like saying that you blend in means you feel in harmony with 90% of the world. And that's a good thing.
Seem to have it all, like Harriet and Leela. They're slim, blonde, confident, and happy.
Wait, they're both blonde? I don't think they're both blonde, bro. Okay.
They're slim, blonde, confident,
They're
and
not
happy.
both blonde, bro.
I wished that I could be more like them. Then, on TV, I saw an advert for hair dye. The girls in the advert were walking along the street laughing with each other, and everyone
Life is so much better now that both of our hair is blonde.
Maybe this was how I could stop being a wallflower and start being popular. I bought a beautiful blonde home dye kit, and that evening, I tried it out.
Boy.
I put the dye in my hair, washed it out, then went to bed to see how it would look in the morning. I looked amazing! My boring mouse brown hair.
You see what it looked like in the morning? Did you just turn the lights off after you did it? Because you see it right away. You don't bleach your hair, wash all the bleach out, and then you have to wait until the morning to see it. It's already bleached. Maybe this person just decided to wash it and turn out all the lights they didn't want to see until the morning. I don't know.
To see how it would look in the morning. I looked amazing! My boring mouse brown hair is definitely no more. I spent an hour trying out different styles, then set off for school. I couldn't wait to see what people were going to say about
This
it.
animation's
but
crazy.
It wasn't entirely how I expected. Loads of people stared at me as I walked in. When I met up with my friend Ella, all she said was, "Wow, that's different." I asked her if she liked it, and she just shrugged. She was treating me kind of strangely, not quite looking at me.
That's mean.
When I asked her what was wrong, she just said,
What
"I
is
just
wrong?
don't
Why
understand
are
why
you
you dyed your hair blonde." I tried to explain that I just wanted a change, and I wanted to be noticed
that's
a bit
fine.
more. But she didn't really seem to understand. I was getting a lot of attention though,
There you
especially
go.
from boys. Usually, they looked straight through me, but now they were smiling at me, and I heard a few of them ask each other who I was. Why did something as simple as being blonde suddenly get me noticed? In my English class, we were reading through Macbeth, which I was looking forward to because I love Shakespeare, but we had a substitute teacher, and no matter how often I tried to answer the questions, he pretty much ignored me.
Sorry,
when we
no
acted out a
blondes.
scene, he picked Ella and a guy named Kenny
No
to read the
blondes
main
will answer
parts
this question.
and gave me, Harriet, and Leela the background characters. Although they're both pretty and popular,
Is this guy
they don't really
Harris?
contribute in class, so it kind of annoyed me to be put with them. But they did compliment me on my hair, which was more than Ella had done. After class, Harriet and Leela invited
what
me to
truly
sit with them
matters.
at lunch. They invited Ella too, but she said she had something else to do. They're actually both really
Wait,
nice.
she wasn't blonde in this. She's not blonde in this part. What is going on? What is going on? This animation is something else, people. First of all, yeah, this one isn't blonde. This girl is not blonde. And here, what happened? Is this like 5-hour blonde? It's like 5-hour energy, but it's for your hair. 5-hour blonde. It's not a dye. It's more like a moose.
She said she had something else to do. They're actually both really nice. I had kind of assumed that they were a bit shallow and self-absorbed, and all they cared about was their makeup, but they weren't like that at all. I felt a bit ashamed for judging them so quickly based on how they looked. That week, I noticed more and more that people were treating me differently because I was blonde. Tony, the captain of the football team, stopped to ask me how my day was going. A group of
Wow.
girls asked me if I would take part in their
Completely
cheerleading
different
club.
animation style.
Harriet and Leela were hanging around with me way more than Ella was. I was getting loads of positive attention from some people, but a lot of my old friends and teachers were just acting as though I had suddenly become invisible.
Why
Maybe
is this whole blondes are dumb thing an actual thing that anyone actually believes and lives by? Because if so, that is unfathomably stupid. Unfathomably stupid. I have heard from certain girls when I was younger, certain girls who were like blonde were treated differently. Like genuinely, like that's an actual thing that people do. I literally cannot imagine being that stupid. I cannot imagine being that dumb of a human being.
I had suddenly become invisible. They didn't listen to what I had to say in class, and I got a worse grade than Ella in my English essay, even though we'd worked on it together. I wondered if they were judging me because of my new hair. It's been 4 months since I dyed my hair blonde, and my mouse brown hair is mostly grown back. I liked it blonde, but I don't think I'll dye it again. One thing I've learned, though, is how much we all judge others for how they look. How much I judged others for how they look. People automatically think girls like Harriet and Leela are self-absorbed because they're blonde, but I know that isn't true.
The one isn't blonde. Why is she saying this?
Leela isn't blonde, bro. That's Harriet.
The two of them always talk about being judged for being blonde.
It's like RobertIDK and Samuel always get judged for being RobertIDK. It's like, no, Samuel doesn't get judged for being RobertIDK because I'm RobertIDK. There's only one. Are you understanding the logic here?
Girls like Harriet and Leela are self-absorbed
Because they're blonde.
but I know that isn't true. And hopefully, by me having blonde hair, I help to change that judgment.
All right, that was wacky. I like that one. The animation is honestly like creepy, and it makes me so grateful for the current My Story animated animation. Like, I will never take MSA's animation quality for granted ever again. Not that I do now, because it's been so great over the last year or so. But going back and seeing these ones, it really puts it into perspective. All right, I Am Too Pretty has 8 million views, which is crazy, but I want to find one from a dude. All right, this one seems insane. I revealed my friend's secret and everyone burst into laughter. Revealed his secret during his funeral. What crazy shenanigans can happen in 3 minutes and 56 seconds with a title like this? I cannot wait. 3, 2, 1.
Hey people, my name's Joshua.
Hi, Joshua.
My best friend, Bill, passed away last year due to a rare disease.
Aw.
We were all really
sorry.
depressed, but it was expected since we saw his health deteriorate each passing month.
Aw.
He was my best friend. I was really sad, but I kept on laughing at his funeral and people didn't know why. Everyone just glared at me with weird eyes.
Why did you
You
laugh
guys
at
must be
this?
wondering the same thing. Well, let me explain. So at the funeral, I was given a letter by Bill's brother. It was his last message that he wanted the world to know through me.
Oh, he cracked a silly
As soon as I
joke?
started-
He was like, Joshua, this is Bill. I have a confession to make. I never told you this, but all of this time, I was actually a gorilla wearing a man's suit. I know, it's crazy, but it's true. And that's why I had a heart attack, because I was fitting my giant gorilla body into a tiny man's suit, and it crushed my arteries.
As soon as I started reading the letter, I burst into laughter. People were staring at me, and I was aware of it, but I couldn't hold it in. So the letter said, "Hey Josh, it's going to be a long time no see, brother. You know I was a call person, and writing long messages was never my cup of tea, but well, can't call, can I?" Guys,
Aw.
this was the moment that I started laughing,
That's
like an
nice.
idiot. Because it's true. He found writing stuff very irritating. The letter further said, "Remember the time when Mr. Williams lost our exam papers last semester? Well, the truth is, I stole them." Well, before moving forward, let me quickly tell you about what happened. Mr. Williams is our computer programming professor. He's
Okay.
one of the most feared professors of our university.
Wow, scary.
We had our final exam paper, which somehow got lost. Mr. Williams had no clue where the papers went missing. Quite
Crazy.
frankly, all of us were left
Bill had
dumbfounded
them.
because none of us had ever heard of anything like this. Mr. Williams had to do something, so we were all given marks.
Computer papers. If only there was a way to do a computer exam on something that isn't paper. But what machine could we possibly use to do this exam for our computer class? How do you do a computer exam but don't lose the paper? Oh, you use a computer. Oh! Use a computer, that's how you do that.
So we were all given marks according to our semester performance, and the entire class was quite pleased with it. One thing you guys should know is that Mr. Williams has a strange addiction to energy drinks. Okay, back to the letter. My exam went really bad, and I remember Mr. Williams telling us that no matter what happened, if any of you did poor in your paper, nothing's going to stop me from giving you guys an F grade and ruining your futures.
Wow.
Since I
Wow.
didn't do well on my test,
What a horrible
I knew
human.
doom was inevitable. But you know, brother, desperate times, desperate measures. I was aware of the fact that Mr. Williams is lactose intolerant. So the next day, I secretly slipped in some milk powder in his energy drink early in the morning.
Wow.
Being lactose intolerant
Energy drink
myself,
with milk
I knew
would
he
be
was going to
the
get hit
worst
with the
thing
nature's
ever.
call within 30 minutes. I constantly kept peeking in his office. And I've got to tell you, his expression was hilarious. I laughed so hard that my stomach started hurting. He fought well, but then the control went beyond his control, and he had to rush to the restroom. As soon as he left his office, I went in, stole the papers, and fled within seconds. Genius, right? You guys can thank me now, since I'm the mysterious savior.
Good job.
As for the papers, they're kept safely under my bed. Go ahead, Mr.
Okay,
Williams.
we don't need all these details about the stealing of the papers, bro. Is this all written on one piece of paper that he's reading? Is this whole story on one piece of paper? Because if so, no wonder he hates writing long papers, because he defies the laws of physics and writes 10,000 words on one page.
Go ahead, Mr. Williams. You can now ruin my future, but guess what? The joke's on you, because I don't have one. I also switched my answers.
That was morbid.
So better luck finding the original one. When I cheat, I make sure I do it perfectly. The letter ended with him saying, I don't have any grudge against Mr. Williams. I hope he's present at my funeral. I wanted to tell him that I love him. And I've always been the naughty one.
Him.
So this was my final attempt at teasing him. Enjoy your lives, everyone. Life is short. Make the most of it. This is my final goodbye to you all. Take care. Love, Billy Brooks. I kept looking at the letter, thinking that this amazing guy is no longer with us. The tears started rolling down my cheeks. Later, everyone found out the reason I was laughing. Everyone laughed along, including Mr. Williams. He was present there, smiling with tears in his eyes. Upon his request,
yeah, I saw those tears. That was very dramatic. I'm glad they put in so much effort to animate that dramatic face there. Smiling with tears in his eyes.
Smiling with tears in his eyes.
That's two. You had one job. Actually, you had two jobs. One, make him smile. Two, tears in the eyes. Bro.
Upon his request, we found the papers and gave them to him the next day.
Wow.
He checked Bill's paper and gave him an A. What do you think of the story?
Why? I mean, okay. But that's a bizarre thing to do in someone's memory. Let's give him I guess that doesn't hurt anyone, I guess. Okay. Wow, I did not need to hear all of that about the stealing of the papers. I really didn't. I could have done without it. I actually think out of what we watched, the best one was the first one. I think that may have been the best story. Anyways, let's just take a moment to be grateful for how far MSA has come, because man, if I had to react to these every few days, I would probably go insane. And you know what they didn't do in this video, guys? They didn't tell us to like and subscribe. So there's your first mistake, MSA. But hey, I'm gonna help you out anyways. And I'm already subscribed, of course. If you're watching this video, here's your opportunity. If you could help me out, boop that subscribe button if you haven't done so. That would be so cool. But next time, I am going to look at a modern, male My Story Animated. If they exist, I'm gonna try to find one. And for you, we've got two things. One, here's the video I was talking about where I react to my first video ever. It's very funny, very silly, and yeah, the quality's not the best. If you wanna see it, there it is. Or here are the rest of the My Story Animated videos. If there's one you haven't seen, make sure you've watched it. I love y'all. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace!